June 6, 1944. 175,000 Allied soldiers breached the walls of Fortress Europe through intense German resistance. By late June, Cherbourg had fallen, giving the Allies the port they so desperately needed. By early August, Eisenhower had amassed an Allied army of over 1 million strong. Treacherous field-to-field hedgerow fighting unleashed a breakout across France. With the Germans in full retreat, the Allies marched into Paris. Field Marshal Montgomery moved north into Belgium, while General Patton and the Third Army pushed to the Siegfried Line. It was here that the Allies encountered their newest enemy, the lack of sufficient supplies. Patton's plan was to run straight through the teeth of the Siegfried Line directly to Berlin. Monty had devised a daring airborne operation that had the potential of ending the war by Christmas. Having only enough supplies to support one advance, the fate of thousands rested in the hands of the few. With Allied superiority on land, sea, and air, what could go wrong? By 1940, Hitler's promise of no bombs dropped on German cities was rendered hollow by Allied heavy bombers. This drove home the reality that the Luftwaffe lagged behind the Allies in a number of areas. Field Marshal Goering needed an aircraft capable of shooting down Allied bombers before they had the chance to drop their payload on Germany, and this demand prompted the production of a revolutionary jet fighter different from any other aircraft Germany had produced before. This endeavor was named the 3x1000 project. It called for a heavy fighter capable of flying 1,000 kilometers distance at 1,000 kilometers an hour and with a 1,000 kilogram payload. To achieve this, the Germans turned to a team of brothers with an astonishing new design.
haben hier einen ganz schönen Betrieb. Von unseren Gothas Sicherheitsbestimmungen könnten Sie allerdings noch was lernen.
Allied infantry always welcomed the sight of a Sherman tank. Its combination of speed, firepower, and quick repair made it an invaluable ground weapon. The sheer number of Shermans in the field usually allowed Allied generals to count on armored superiority. However, not all the Sherman tank specs were ideal. It was thinly armored and caught fire easily. In addition, its cannon was not large enough to pierce the more heavily armored enemy tanks, a weakness not shared by the German Tiger. Fortunately, evolving teamwork between ground spotters, artillery, and the Army Air Force meant no Tiger was impenetrable, thus helping the Shermans rule the day.
Du bist nicht in der Kriegsmarine!
I don't think I can stay in here because I...
Captain! I'm hit! Jimmy, help!
Kannst du dein Bier nicht gerade halten, du blöder Drecksack?
Ach Mann, halt die Fresse!
Mir reicht's, du blöder Saubeier!
Dir reicht was? Eine Frechheit, mich zu beleidigen, du besoffenes Schwein!
Dazu hast du nicht den Schneid!
Devised as a joint airborne and ground campaign, Operation Market Garden was the largest airborne operation ever mounted. The planned market was to take and hold a series of roads and bridges across northern Holland, creating a clear path for Garden, an armored push to the border directly east of Berlin. Unfortunately, the German forces engaged there were not the exhausted troops the Allies faced in France. Crack panzer divisions lay in wait, trained to repel the assault. The Allied invasion was halted outside Nijmegen, effectively cutting off more than 10,000 paratroopers dropped in Arnhem. Surrounded, the Allies battled on for 7 days, refusing to yield the north side of Arnhem Bridge to a superior force. Finally, when it was decided Market Garden could not succeed, the Allies fell back. 8,000 would be left behind. The Dutch would not see liberation for another 7 months.
Incredible! That building is blessed, no doubt.
Erika ist gut! Apple Pie!
Again.
Moet u toch eens kijken wat u met mijn deur gedaan heeft.
Supplies and production were vital areas of the war in which the Allies dominated. Relentless Allied bombing runs over Ruhr Valley factories resulted in an increasingly crippled German war machine. Methodical strafing of the railroads and rail yards left behind broken trains stalled on destroyed tracks. Without fuel, Germany's heavy weapons were useless. Its vaunted panzers immobilized and its planes grounded, the German infantry was left to carry on the fight alone.
You can't hide forever. There is no use hiding, American. There's no way out, Patterson.
Go.
Warte mal, ich kriege keine Luft.
Well done, Jimmy. I couldn't have expected half the results you achieved. So, take some much-needed R&R, but rest assured we'll be calling on you soon. With Germany's battle for Russia going poorly on the Eastern Front and our success on the Western Front, Germany is getting less sure and more dangerous by the day. Hitler is turning to projects that we hope never see the light of day. You'll be part of our continuing efforts, Patterson, so rest for now. We'll be in touch.
sitzt ein Soldat, der wäscht sich mit Kartoffelsalat.
gotta go. When you're ordered to maneuver, when you're ordered to hook, when you're ordered to envelop, you gotta get your ass in there. It's cold steel time. Clear?
Yes, sir!
Ron,
But
you sorry to hear your dad or no?
finger.
Jesse, it looks like a fresh wound to me.
I think I lost a finger.
But it was pretty obvious I was killed.
You're pretty far away though.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet if it's close range, it would be.
Yeah.
It might be hurting.
1, sir. 2, sir. 3, sir. 4, sir. 5, 6, 7, sir. 8, sir. 9, sir. 10, sir.
When I told you to open up, you did finally, and that cued the move. Now here they came hard hooking around to the left. A couple of people got hit and quit. Hit the arm, hit the leg. Keep crawling, go for it.
Before we completed work on the first Medal of Honor, we weren't even sure whether what we were doing was possible. At that time, no one had ever done a first-person shooter for a PlayStation. All we did know was that on the heels of Private Ryan, Stephen wanted an authentic World War II game. Authenticity and the limitation of 250 Poli characters and low-res environment, however, don't go easily hand in hand. But for my lead animator, Sonil, to even suggest that realistic weapons and enemies weren't possible, well, those were fighting words. His team did excellent research, though. They really knew their stuff.
What a pioneering time that was. 82% of the time, we were flying on assumptions. And the other 18% was hearsay and guessing. Computer animation was in its infancy then. It wasn't until Jurassic Park 10 that 3D graphics truly leapt from the screen and into your lap. But we in the gaming industry were trying to do our part with realistic animation and intelligent AI. And we had some rather unorthodox methods of gathering our animation reference. Come to think of it, I lost many an animator in those renegade days. The limitations early on in the series meant settling for square-fisted, no-fingered, flat-faced, low-res enemies hiding behind the barrels most of the time. Now, luckily, the engineering team did their best at making the enemies appear as aggressive and intelligent as possible.
Today you can download the Wehrmacht directly into your home to take on hand-to-hand if you wish. Enemies find waypoints and cover right there amongst the love seat and China hutch. But back then, we had all we could do just to keep the enemies from running around in circles, looking stupid. Those days were long, late night, into the morning headaches.
It's gonna be way beyond midnight, I'm telling you.
Shush.
Check the bags.
Memory was always the issue. Background artists with the compartment calculations and occlusions, oh, they were always breaking the game.
Ay, nagugutom na ako. Dinner's ready. Come on.
In a minute, Mother. I'm busy.
We were always the black sheep of the family. The backgrounds were never on schedule. The compartments were too big, the collision wasn't working.
I got sick of working miracles, downright sick of it.
The doorways were too narrow, the textures were screwed up, the posters weren't public domain. The Eiffel Tower needed legal clearance, on and on. Of course, when EA bought the tower in 2016, that pretty much ended the clearance headache for anybody else. We improved it though, added a virtual skateboarding ramp, covered the entire first level of the tower. Sweet.
Then of course there was the audio department who'd been winning award after award for the work on the series. And they of course had a seemingly endless list of requests.
What's this? Yes, they built a sound studio. What's your point? Well, sure, we asked for things. Sure, we made requests. But we had high standards and a quality bar to maintain.
I need interruptible sounds. I need acceleration and deceleration. I need dynamic music.
The Panzerfaust shells didn't edit their own sound effects, you know. But I want to talk about the design. It was the game designers who dictated what we were in need of, not us. And where were they when all these audio requests were allegedly being made?
Put the boogie in your body.
Oh, they wanted panzers, motorcycles, and half-tracks bursting through the wall. Well, you can't make that kind of sound with a kettle and a wooden spoon. Memory. You know what I got? A lousy 250K. Can you convey a battle, a friggin' battle with 250K? But it had to be done. It was like spinning straw into gold. Straw into gold, I'm telling you. Well, it was more like straw into half-tracks.
I don't know about the half-tracks or the walls bursting, but I do remember it's the food. Just seems like all we ever did was eat.
It's totally shot that way before.
Scott was always baking something or bringing in brownies.
Hey. What do you got there? Little cake action.
We're lined up at that roach coach outside. Hang on a second. Yeah, that was a pretty good 5 years or so. Getting fat, if I recall. Yeah, that rocked.
They were Neanderthals, knew nothing about good food. Any one of them would have eaten shoe leather and said, fine, just needed ketchup.
Bacon cheese. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a slice of Scott's banana bread right now. Whatever happened to him?
Scott and Peter? Well, their relationship was, well, let's just say that the journey through underground and Frontline was sometimes a turbulent one.
Look, it seems to me, though, that we went to the trouble to create the music for those.
It doesn't make any difference to me. I don't know who has final say, but somebody's got to make a decision. That's all I need is one decision.
But within a few years, by the end of Medal of Honor, Falkland Islands, they had found a way to truly coexist. Well, at least 64% of the time. The other 36% of the time, there were still some passionate debates.
No, wait, stop. Wait, no, it doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody go on these wait, hold on.
Yeah, sure, they went around a bit, but they both wanted the series to be great. The one thing they agreed on was Captain Dye, our military consultant.
I could screw up and not do something I should do, or you can. And there's an extraordinary penalty attached to that. Somebody's going to get naked.
They both knew he was one of the best resources Medal of Honor had access to. And what a tough resource he was. You didn't know what dirt tasted like until you met Captain Dye.
Good boy, the face,
Captain Dye? Huge help. Huge. He's still working in Hollywood, too.
Captain Dye? Yeah, I took a few lashes from him, but I never mistook a weapon for a gun again. I'll tell you that much.
Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. I want to come back to this endless request list thing. See, I wasn't the only one making demands. Does anyone remember the D-Day issue? To this day, everyone refuses to talk about it. It's like a big, ugly secret.
Oh, yes, D-Day.
Oh, that.
Don't get me started.
I was off on another prototype at that time. That was Frontline, I think.
Well, I just couldn't take it anymore. I left the business. I was long gone by the time they got to Medal of Honor 9, Electric Boogaloo, or whatever it was. I was shot, you know. I moved back to Wisconsin and I worked in a paper mill for a few years to just sort of vegetate. I did miss the guys, though. They were truly a great group.
It's the happiest bat in the world. Do you want to meet it?
Get out of here.
Me and Lionel, we were talking about doing a
But since then I've fallen into a whole new group of guys and dolls, as it were. Back to my first love, the legitimate stage. But let me tell you, all those years that I worked on World War II prepared me for this, because the theater is a real task mistress. We're working on a whole new sort of Capra-esque review for the high school this fall. And it's kind of a, oh, Mr. Deeds meets Mr. Smith goes to Wisconsin type thing. It's going to be spectacular. Mike Giacchino, well, we lost contact with each other. He fell into some pretty scary times. You know, it was clear the night that he won the award for Best Music on Underground that he was in trouble.
Michael scores for Frontline and Allied Assault. Still brought him some accolades, but then he just kind of started phoning it in. I think he lost it. If I remember correctly, his MOH Grenada had a barking seal choir. Clearly, it was over. And I think some tabloids got a hold of him a few years ago, and it was not pretty.
Mr. Giacchino? Michael Giacchino, can we just have one word with you, sir?
No! Get out!
No, we just have one question.
Bunch of
we just have a couple of questions. Okay, wait. Sir, one moment.
Truly, those were the best years of our lives, I think, looking back on it. We set out to create something really special, and I think we succeeded.
A reunion? Sure, I'd be up for something like that. Of course, we're all scattered around the country now, or most of us are, well, dead, I guess is the word.
Oh, I would be there 100%.
Can Mother come?
Of course, I'll be there. Tell me when.
It's a barbecue, right?
I don't know. That was a lifetime ago. Besides, hey, that's our opening weekend. And the girls, they need me. Hey, I'm running the light board.
It's been a lot of years since I first started coming to Chino Airport to see one groundbreaking aircraft after another. The same could be said about great people. They are worth going out of your way to be around. My father often said, hire good people and get out of their way. Well, I don't know how well we got out of each other's way, but one thing's for certain. We sure had good people.
Well, it started out great. I mean, you know, those meetings with Steven, those trips to Seattle to record, the great reviews we got, boy. And then the Medal of Honor, one after another. They were fun. But they kept saying, Mike, we're going to get you a movie. You're really good. We're going to get you a movie. And then another Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor Grenada. Medal of Honor Somalia. Medal of Honor, what was that one? The Falkland Islands. And when they said, Mike, we got a new Medal of Honor coming up. Medal of Honor Kosovo. I said, that's it. I'm done. That's it. And I just left. Well, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you.
But
then, we had all we could do just to keep the enemies from running around in circles, looking stupid.
Was I in the way? Sorry. That was perfect in the kitchen. Give me the I am an artiste line.
I am an artiste, you know, a serious actor.
My lead, for my lead animator, or
Well, at least 6%.
All right. Give us an action. Give us an action. We'll take a minute and then we'll go.
All right, Stanley, go.
Look.
Cut.
Now, before we completed work on the first Medal of Honor,
You're gonna run out of tea.
You are actually a really good actor.
I know.
Every time he wakes up, his fat flies out.
before we completed...
Not us. And Wayru.
Stay in character, you
Are you rolling?
Whoop. And so is the umbrella.
Well, that's all part of the action.
Well, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. That's it, Scott, I'm telling you.
It's 11 o'clock, and you're probably still at work, but take a quick 15, because it's time for Bit Chat. Brought to you by Shot Cola. When you've been up 36 hours and you're out of steam, let Shot carry you another 10. And by Instant Noodles. When 7 minutes cooking time just isn't fast enough, try Instant Noodles. And here are the hosts of Bit Chat, Chris Palawatsky and Eddie Circus Peanut Anderson.
Printf parentheses quotation. Hello world backslash end quotation parentheses semicolon. Welcome to Bit Chat, the only show by programmers, for programmers, and while program equals running, programmers having a voice equals true. I'm Chris P., the premier of programming, the prince of polygon pushing, and the president of the pipeline. Oh yeah. And by my side is the only man who turned caffeine into his own food group, Eddie the Circus Peanut. Yo Eddie, how you doing?
Yeah, I got here about 8. I would have gotten here earlier, but I did actually drive home last night. I've been working ever since.
Well, what an exciting day you had there, Ed. Alright, tonight on Bit Chat we got something a little different. We have in our studio the first self-proclaimed programming poet who is here to share what he calls a C++ haiku.
And it compiled. Void runtime error. For instar I plus plus. Star I equals 9.
Wow, man, that was
so beautiful.
Man, and they say all engineers are left-brainers. Well, enough about that. It's time for the buzzword of the week. That's the word where you, the programmer, can use to fend off any management types who are all getting in your face.
This week's buzzword is packet splicing. Use this term when referring to streaming data off a DVD or network gaming. Let me show you an example. Chris, you be an executive and I'll be a diligent programmer.
Oh, hi there, Mr. Engineer, doing something I couldn't possibly understand. Are we gonna have the game ready to run on disk today?
Well, I like to, but we run into a snag. But I've narrowed it down to the packet splicing technology.
Okay, I'll just go back to my office and, do whatever I do.
Use these buzzwords with caution. The more you use them, the less potent they become.
Alright, it's now time for Upload, the part of the show where you, the programmer, get a chance to have your sound channel heard. Now give us a call at 555-FA.
For those of you who lax on your hex, that's 555
caller, you're on BitChat.
Okay, Greg. I've been working at this new company, and I think I'm putting in too many hours.
Really? How many hours you putting in?
Right now, I'm on my 60th milkshake of the hour.
Ooh, 60 hours. What is it? What is it, part-time work?
What are you working late nights while you go back to school?
Come on, guys. I'm really tired, and all this is our precious.
Hey, listen, you called us back when you were 90 plus, lightweight.
You tell him, Ed. All right, enough of the calls. Let's get right to the meat of the show. Because tonight on BitChat, we have a very special guest. The master of longevity himself, Mad Dog Curtis.
Meh!
Meh! Meh! Mad Dog. All right, welcome to BitChat, Mad Dog.
Better be here equals true.
Yeah. All right. As some of you know, Mad Dog was the first programmer to work 72 hours straight. And tonight he's going to share his experience of breaking the 72-hour barrier.
Well, I'll tell you, I got the camera in my office. I got the whole ordeal on tape. I'll show you.
All right.
Where's Mad Dog? You'll never get my code. Get out my code.
I can't see. Where'd the monitor go? Where's the code?
Bad dog? Bad dog. Bad dog. Your car is in
What?
Your car
Get
is in
out! Get out! I'm king of the monkey people! I'm king of the monkey people!
Man, that's what you get.
Wow, that was something else, Mad Dog. I'm really impressed.
Finally, programs everywhere, something to look up to.
Well, that's all the time we have for BitChat. We'd like to chat some more, but we got to get back to work. So, see you on the next cycle.
Thank you so much for watching Medal of Honor Frontline. I'm Alec Gaming. Please give a like button on all videos. On the playlist, give a sub. Click on the bell for new Medal of Honor games. And a Medal of Honor game is coming. A new one is coming. Thank you so much for watching all Medal of Honor, Medal of Honor Underground, and now Medal of Honor Frontline is finished. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Click on the bell, click on the sub, and click on the like button. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Bye bye.